I will call to order the regular meeting of the Ascension Parish Council, Thursday, July 21st, to order, please. Our invocation tonight will be led by Councilman Chris Lohr, followed by the singing of the national anthem after our pledge by Jenny Harriman. I also have the Ascension Republican women doing the pledge tonight.
Dear Lord, as we gathered here tonight, we ask first of all that you help us to remember how blessed we are to live in this Ascension Parish and what a wonderful community this is with wonderful people. We also ask that you remember those who have passed from our community, Mr. Ali Gotro Sr. and Dorothy Duplessis. We ask you to be with them and hope they are with you. And we ask you to be with their families who have remained. As we gather tonight to do business, Lord, we just ask you to give us wisdom and insight to make the best decisions possible to keep Ascension Parish as wonderful a place as it is. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Councilman Lohr. Ascension Republican women, please.
Please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ladies. Remain standing, please, Miss Jenny.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much, Jenny. Roll call, Ms. Cinnamon. All present with the exception of Councilman Adrian Thompson, Councilman Oliver Joseph. Ms. Cinnamon, Oliver Joseph is present. Chair additions, anyone used to speak on an action item on the agenda, sign in with Cinnamon, you'll be allowed 3 minutes. I don't have any chair addition. Public comment period. If you want to speak, sign in with Cinnamon, you'll be allowed 3 minutes. Presentations. I've got Certificate of Appreciation, Leadership Ascension Firehouse Project. President Martinez, please.
Every year, Ascension Leadership class picks a project, and this year they had 3 different projects, and one of the projects was Ascension Firehouse Project, which is a house that's located on 621. It was utilized for a small time as an office, but was very underutilized, and the committee came to me and we discussed it, and basically they chose it as a project to renovate the house. They went out and got all donations and put a lot of work into it, and now it's a house that, in the event that a citizen of Ascension Parish house, if their house burns down, it'll give them a place to go immediately. And it's been, I think, up to 3 days, 3 to 5 days, and it's just a wonderful project. And in the past, Ascension leadership has other projects, Oxygen trailer, which it's something that we dearly needed during the hurricane Gustav. The fire departments had to go out and find people and deliver oxygen to them. And now we have a trailer that we'll be able to utilize. Also, a mass casualty bus, which was another project. And now in the event of any kind of catastrophe, we do have a bus that we can go out and bring out casualties. And it's high, and if it's underwater, we certainly would have an opportunity to get to those people. And they also did a press room in here. So those are 3 wonderful projects. But I think this year's project tops everything by providing a suitable place for somebody who's had a tragedy. And now they have a place that they can go to and shelter and not have to worry about that. So anyway, I'd just like Ms. Sherry Despina and that committee to come up, please. Sure, I'm going to let you say a few words, and then we'll pass out some certificates.
Thank you, Tommy. Really, I shouldn't really be the one up here to speak for these guys, but I can tell you, on behalf of this year's Leadership Ascension class, I cannot begin to tell you that the hours that they spent on this project, and again, what a wonderful project for the citizens of Ascension Parish. Anytime now that someone does have a fire, they have a place to go to, a place that they can call home for a few days, instead of going to a motel room and having to worry about trying to find food or trying to comfort their family. These guys took an old house, and when I tell you, I guess it's okay to say it was a mess. It was a mess. Yes, and they took it and just demolished it, and they put in floors and ceilings and new appliances and plumbing and beds. And again, I think we especially want to thank lots of the companies in Ascension Parish. These guys went out and got donations, and so many of our companies stepped up to the plate and gave them just about anything that they needed to get this project done. So again, I want to thank all of them for the excellent, just wonderful job that they did. They had a lot of sweat and a lot of tears, but I'm going to tell you, that day when we stood there and dedicated that's one of the greatest days to me in Ascension leadership. So on behalf of all, from me and all the board of directors and all the staff and everybody that's been through Leadership Ascension, thank y'all very much for all that you did.
Great job. And we're going to give each of you a certificate, but basically the Parish of Ascension is proud to present the certificate to the Ascension Chamber of Commerce and the wonderful people who participate in Leadership Ascension. We join with Council Chairman Pat Bell and the entire Parish Council in thanking you for what you do each year to improve the quality of life in Ascension Parish. Sherry.
This is too funny. Kelly Swarm is next. Cassie's not here. Joan Shivers. Miss Joan works for the parish.
Joan works for the parish and one of our finest. Thank you, Joan.
Candy Sheets, Nose Restaurant. Cheryl Ross with the Ark of Ascension. Jake, where's Jake here? No, Jake's not here. Jay Patel, Jay's not here. Sorry, I'm getting it. Tracy Norman, our fire chief. Megan Abear Moran. E-Tel. They got it right. Megan got married in the middle of our class. Caroline's not here. Patty's not here. Alvin Broussard. Steve and Elaine with Cox. And that's it. That's everybody that's here.
Thank you again for your time and generosity and hard work. You've done a wonderful job. Hopefully next year's class does something good, but I don't know if anybody can ever be able to top this project.
Oh, thank you.
Next, ask Joey Cornett to come up. Is he here? Yes, hey. Joey was 2010 Jambalaya contest winner, and never had the opportunity to honor him, but we wanted to do so tonight when we honor the 2011 champ and mini champ champion also, and the champion of champions. So tonight we want to present this to Joey. The Parish of Ascension is proud to present this certificate of achievement for your recent success at the 2010 Jambalaya Festival in Gonzales. We join with Council Chairman Pat Bell and the entire Parish Council in congratulating you and thanking you for preserving the special heritage that this festival stands for. Joey, thank you.
Thank you.
How was your year?
It was great. Of course, I guess I missed this last year. I was working out of town for half the year, but got really busy after I came back in January. Made a trip to North Carolina, cooked for the JFA. We did a benefit up there, and it's just a great time.
Great job representing
Thank you.
not only the Jambalaya Association, but the parish. Thank you so much.
All right.
This year's champ, T. Wayne Abshire. Everybody knows T. Wayne. He's around the community quite often and caters all over the place. And barbecue champ, not only a jambalaya champ, but does a good job and also in representing Ascension Parish everywhere he goes. Certificate of Achievement, T. Wayne Abshire, Jambalaya Champion 2011. The Parish of Ascension is proud to present this certificate of achievement for your recent success at the 2011 Jambalaya Festival in Gonzales. We join with the Council Chairman, Pat Bell, and the entire Parish Council in congratulating you and thanking you for preserving the special heritage that this festival stands for. T. Wayne. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I guess one of the biggest things, I'm kind of an outsider, moved here 15 years ago, and the council and a lot of the forefathers and the people that I've learned from, really paved the way for us. So we're grateful for that, and they made it easy for us young guys. So.
Next we have the mini pot jambalaya champs. All right. Joshua? This is Joshua. Joshua Kalowski, Minipot Children Division Champion, 2011 Jambalaya Festival. The Parish of Ascension is proud to present this certificate of achievement for your recent success at the 2011 Jambalaya Festival in Gonzales. We join with Council Chairman Pat Bell and the entire Parish Council in congratulating you and thanking you for preserving the special heritage that this festival stands for. Joshua, how old are you, Joshua?
6.
6? How long you been cooking?
2 days.
All right. Stay right here.
Fix it up quick.
And Gabe, are you kin to this young man? Is that your brother? Okay, and how old are you? 9? Okay. Certificate of achievement to Gabe. How you pronounce that? Kowalski? Okay. Gabe Kowalski, Minipot Children's Division Champion, 2011 Jambalaya Festival. The Parish is proud to present this certificate of achievement for your recent success at the 2011 Jambalaya Festival in Gonzales. And we join with Council Chairman Pat Bell and the entire Parish Council in congratulating you and thanking you for preserving the special heritage that this festival stands for. So you did a good job. Congratulations. You want to say a few words? You okay? Okay. I'll stay here. Who else you got? Sure, come on. Uh-oh, we got one coming. Minipot Adult Division, Greg Godin. Is Greg here? That's Greg. Okay, I know Greg, he's not here. Okay, okay. I think she's here. Minipot Junior Division Champion, Miss Mary Abshire, which would be kin to T. Wayne Abshire. Mary, congratulations. The Parish of Ascension is proud to present this certificate of achievement for your recent success at the 2011 Jambalaya Festival in Gonzales. We join the council with Council Chairman Pat Bell and the entire Parish Council in congratulating you and thanking you for preserving the special heritage that this festival stands for. Congratulations, Mary. Great job. How old are you?
13.
Okay, thanks. Let's take a picture. You want to come up, T-Wayne? Minipot Champion of Champions, Mr. J. Alexis. Congratulations, Mr. J. Thank you. The Parish of Ascension is proud to present this certificate of achievement for your recent success at the 2011 Jambalaya Festival in Gonzales. We join with the Council Chairman, Pat Bell, and the entire Parish Council in congratulating you and thanking you for preserving the special heritage that this festival stands for. Congratulations, Jay, and you can see we have a bright future in jambalaya cooks in Ascension Parish. We go all the way from 6 to T. Wayne and Jay, and you know, this is stands well and bides well for what's going on here in the parish.
I really just like to thank the Parish Council. This is one of the many positive things that they do. And this is what makes Ascension Parish great, and we thank each and every one of you.
Thank you. Next, we have the Champ of Champs, Mr. Kyle Frederick. 2 Kyle Frederick, Champion of Champions, 2011 Jambalaya Festival. The Parish of Ascension is proud to present this certificate of achievement for your recent success at the 2011 Jambalaya Festival in Gonzales. We join with Council Chairman Pat Bell and the entire Parish Council in congratulating you and thanking you for preserving the special heritage that this festival stands for. And I know you had a tough road competing against all the past champions, and it's quite an honor to be the champion of champions, and congratulations to you, Kyle.
Well, thank you. Never in my life I thought I would have a title that says Champion of Champions. But I want to thank the parish as a whole, and thank you for your leadership. The Jambalaya Festival Association raises money for charity, and we donate that back throughout the year. And with the help of the parish, they send their money and their cooks with us, and that's a very good thing. We want to thank you officially for that. We'd like to thank a couple councilmen, Randy, who's really helped us, and Mr. Shake Snyder, thank you. We recently went to Joplin, Missouri, and that couldn't happen without you guys. So thank you. And I'd like to say I've always wanted to beat T. Wayne, and it's been a one of the great things in my life, and I really didn't think I would have to worry about Mary, but geez, I'm scared. Congratulations.
Under my report, I'm going to ask Ms. Joyce LaCour to come up and tell us a little bit about the project that they do every year. They come every year with the dictionary project. They buy dictionaries and put them in the schools and do a wonderful job. And if you hadn't bought any dictionaries lately, here's the place to do it. Ms. Joyce.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, President Martinez and the council, for allowing us to speak about a project that's very, very close to our hearts, our Up With Words project, which is the dictionary project. And the dictionary project was started in 1992 by a woman called Annie Plummer from Savannah, Georgia, when she gave 50 dictionaries to a nearby school. And the dictionary project grew into a national project. You can go to dictionaryproject.org to learn all about the dictionary project. And they work with local sponsors and volunteers in order to distribute dictionaries to third graders throughout the nation. This past year, and we're very proud of this, we provided dictionaries for 13 primary schools in Ascension Parish. And the number that we provided, we had ordered 1,488 dictionaries that were ordered at a cost of about $2,600. And we went to each of the schools, did the presentation of the dictionary, and presented the third graders. The reason third graders are chosen is because at that age they're very interested in learning words, and they're also ready to expand their knowledge of the language. The dictionary that we chose is a student's dictionary, and we chose this dictionary because it has expanded resource material other than just being a dictionary. It has the Pledge of Allegiance, it has the Constitution, it has the Declaration of Independence, it has the Table of Elements, it has all of the state capitals. So it's a great resource material for the children. And this particular dictionary has a gimmick. You know, you always have to have a gimmick. It has the longest word in the English language in this particular dictionary. And we think it's the best one. They offer several choices, and we think that we chose the best one. We raised money to do this project. We purchased the dictionaries from the Dictionary Project, the national project, and we raised money last year through the generosity of some of our members of the community, and also businesses. And we're in the process of doing that again. I know that you know that part was coming. And if you're interested in donating to this project, it cost about $200 approximately to do one school. And if you want to contribute to do a quarter of a school, you know, that's fine. Whatever you're able to give, we really would appreciate that. I have cards with our business address on it, 14 Post Office Box 1514 in Prairieville. Or you can call me, and I'll be glad to give you all of the information on our project. And we also wanted, I would also like to recognize, I think this gentleman is from East Ascension Rotary. And East Ascension Rotary, the reason we didn't do 14 schools is because East Ascension Rotary has adopted Prairieville from its inception. So for the past 3 years, East Ascension Rotary has provided dictionaries to Prairieville. So they're the other provider. And we did 13 schools, but we're going to have a new school next year, so it'll be 14 schools. So we would appreciate any help or support that you give to this project. And I thank you very much, again, President Martinez and the council for allowing us to talk about this project. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to provide you with my card and so forth. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. Very good. Very good project. Next, I'm going to ask Ms. Glenda Shaheen to come up. Donaldsonville is participating in the Louisiana Development Ready Communities Program, and they're one of just a few communities in the state that's been selected, and Glenda's on that team, and she asked me tonight if she could maybe tell the council a little bit about it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, President Martinez, Chairman Bell, and council members and citizens of Ascension Parish. On behalf of Mayor Leroy Sullivan, the steering committee chair, project manager Robin Delaney, Sandra Coss Williams, and myself, we thank you very much for allowing us to give you a brief information about this program. Louisiana Development Ready Communities Program is one of Louisiana economic development strategies to strengthen the economic competitiveness of municipalities. The city of Donaldsonville completed an application back in April and was awarded this in June. It was one of 8 communities that was selected, so it's a very much an honor for Ascension Parish for the city of Donaldsonville to be selected for this. Communities must implement 4 development-ready elements: community assessment, strategic planning, leadership development, and marketing a community before completing their own economic development strategic plans. The program benefits include developing an understanding of community needs and issues, preparing a roadmap to address community needs, and measurements of accomplishments. They must receive customized training, community research data, strategic planning assistance, and a community visit by a professional mentor, all working through the Louisiana Economic Development and also working through Ascension Parish Economic Development. Mr. Mike Eads is assisting us with this program, and we thank him also very much. The outcome is to become a more competitive community for good jobs, business development projects, and capital investment. One part of the process right now that we're going through is surveys. We are asking the community to go online to Zoomerang, and I have some copies here, the community of Donaldsonville and the surrounding communities, to answer some questions about Donaldsonville. There's a business survey and there's also a community survey. We need to know what the problems are and what the good and the bad is about the community before we can go ahead and we can fix everything. We know that some things need to be tweaked, and that's what we want to hear. In order to do it the right way, we need the input from our community. Another part of this is going to be town hall meetings, and these are scheduled for next Thursday in Donaldsonville at the Lemon Memorial Center. There will be a meeting at 12 noon for the business community. They have been invited to come to listen to a brief presentation by Louisiana Economic Development Strategic Planning Team, and then what they're going to do is they're going to ask for their input to find out the different things about the community, so we can go ahead and combine that together along with these surveys. That's at 12 noon. Business community is invited, anyone around the Donaldsonville area, but I would like to invite each and every one of you. A lot of people that maybe live in Gonzales have ties to Donaldsonville, and so we really want to hear what they have to say also. So everyone from the east bank of the river, we would like to know also. So we're inviting you to participate in this survey if you would. I do have the information as far as the survey online, but the community meeting is next Thursday, 12 noon. There will be a lunch served for the business community, and at 6 p.m. that night, there will also be a meal served for the community to come in and to sit down and to listen to the presentation. What we would like to say is that the city of Donaldsonville is a great place to live, but Ascension Parish is also a great place to live, and it is part of the parish, and we want to make sure that everyone gets involved with it. It only can make our parish a better place to live, and working together is the key to this process. And I want to thank you very much for the time to explain the program to you.
Thank you, Glenda. Next, I'm going to ask Ms. Jenny Harriman to come up, please. Of course, you all know Jenny. You heard her sing the national anthem. She does so willingly at every occasion. For Veterans Day, she's there. She sings the national anthem every year. She does such a great job. She works for ETEL News. She's very positive about Ascension Parish. If you ever watch her show, she's always smiling and just a wonderful person and a wonderful friend and someone who I love so much for the job that you do in portraying Ascension Parish in a positive manner and doing such a great job in doing so. So Jenny, today we'd like to honor you and Parish of Louisiana, State of Louisiana proclamation to proclaim July 22nd, 2011 as Jenny Harriman Day in Ascension Parish. Whereas Jenny Harriman was born on March 1st, 1983 in Baton Rouge, the second of 3 children of Greg and Valerie Harriman, And whereas Jenny attended Louisiana State University, where she co-hosted LSU Tiger TV Sports Showtime program, and whereas following her graduation from LSU's Manship School of Mass Communication, where she earned her degree in broadcast journalism, Jenny became an anchor at NBC 33, while simultaneously researching and reporting stories and producing the weekend morning news, Baton Rouge Lagniappe. And whereas Jenny's childhood connection with Ascension Parish was rekindled again in 2007 when she was invited to co-host ETEL 4 News, and whereas after more than 110 shows, her continual love for Ascension Parish with its rich heritage compels us to watch Jenny Harriman on ETEL Community Connection. Now therefore it be proclaimed, I, Tommy Martinez, President of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, by the virtue and authority vested in me, do hereunto proclaim July 22nd, 2011, as Jenny Harriman Day in Ascension Parish, and make her an honorary parish president on this day, urging our citizens to accord her all respect and honors due to an honorary holder of this high office.
I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. It's an honor to work here, and it's an amazing honor to be able to work with a council like this and all the people that we have in charge here. It makes my job very easy, and I couldn't be more proud. Thank you so much.
Anything else with your report, Mr. President? Okay, sir. Next, I'll move into item 7, consent agenda. I'll need a motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chris Lohr, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Moving to our general business section, item 8, condemnation proceedings. Chief Building Official, Officer Laverne Bourgeois, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. Appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight to present this agenda item. This is on condemnation of a property on the Cluot Road at 42173. There's a list of events that took place, as you have in your packet. And at this time, we're asking the council's advice how to move on with this.
Motion, Mr. Chairman. Got a motion by Councilman Todd Lambert. Second. Got a second by Councilman Randy Cluot. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 2 on that particular one's going to be the timeline of 14390 Airline Highway, which they may have a gentleman here tonight to speak on, Mr. Chairman, so I don't recognize him in the audience, but you may want to ask if anyone's here on this particular one, because I did have a call. They may be here.
All right, sir. Who is it, Laverne, again?
It was Mr. Kelvin Jackson.
Is Mr. Kelvin Jackson here? Would you like to speak, sir? Please come forward. You'll have 3 minutes.
In regards to 14390 Allen Highway, we spoke with the parish representative. At that time, we informed him that the particular house in question is not on property owned by the Jackson family. I do have some documents to substantiate our claims.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Continue on. That's it?
That's it,
All
yes.
right.
In other words, we
Councilman
received...
Cluart has a question for you, please.
What are you saying? You got
What I'm saying is, we received communication that the parish was in the process of condemning this property, something like taking a lien on the family to pay for it. When I spoke to the representative, I informed at that time that the house in question is not on property that's owned by the Jackson family. So obviously, we should not be held responsible for any proceedings for property that's not ours.
President Martinez.
Yes, I'd like to ask Mr. Bourgeois to come up and explain if that's the case.
Mr. Chairman, at no time did anyone discuss that with us, with our code enforcement officer. The time frame was we talked exclusively to several members of the family. At no time was that disclosed to us. We had no other alternative than to proceed with the condemnation order. If that is so, I would ask the council to allow us to investigate further if they can give us the documents, because we go through the clerk of court's records for ownership.
Okay. I'll need a motion to delay, please, Councilman. A motion by Councilman Randy Cluart, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Any discussion? Discussion. Councilman Dempsey Lambert.
How long are you gonna need, Laverne? 30 days?
That should take care of it.
I would like to add that. Give them
Add
30
that to the
days.
motion. Okay. Councilman Oliver Joseph, please.
Mr. Laverne.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Dempsey asked a good question as far as 30 days. But that process, if the property belongs to someone else, that process start all over again, correct?
That's a possibility, yes. But as I said, our code enforcement officer researches the clerk of court's office and identifies the property owners and the taxpayer of the properties, and that's how we proceed. Items that we can't find the owners, we will turn it over to the curator of the parish, and they would do the proper investigation and notify us of their findings. So, I mean, that is the process.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure
Yes, sir.
that we are not liable for something we go
That's correct,
do
and
something
I
and-
appreciate the opportunity to evaluate further.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you, Mr.
sir.
Chairman.
Okay, so any more discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Go ahead, Laverne, you're next.
The third item is off of Highway 929, addressed at 39204. And that time frame, again, is in your packet, which range from the first of the year up to present. And I think Ms. Cassandra Davis is here to speak to the council.
Okay, Ms. Davis, come forward, please. You're allowed 3 minutes.
Good evening. I was asked to come in today to explain why this property should not be condemned. I do own the property, and it is an old house, but the house belongs to my cousin. He is a truck driver, and he works out of town. And at this point, they are in the process of cleaning the property so they can move the house. We want to move the house off of the property. And he's in the process of trying to clean his property and also secure someone to actually move the house. So if we could have a little time for that, that's what I'm asking.
Mr. Chairman?
Councilman Lambert.
Yeah, what type of time frame do you need?
I would
Is he
have-
moving forward pretty rapidly with this?
They are, yes, they are looking into it.
I make a motion to delay.
I have a motion by Councilman Randy Cluart to delay the project. I'll need a time frame, please.
60 days.
60 would be fair.
I want to hear from Mr. Bourgeois.
Okay.
What,
I've got some other speakers, too.
okay.
Ms. Davis did speak to us about her cousin moving. We felt that they had ample time to make a commitment by letter of fact, and it just hadn't happened. So that's why we brought it here tonight, bringing this to a close or in order to get the process moving. My question would be, where would the house be relocated to and what repairs will be done?
Okay, where was it? It's supposed to be moved further down Airline Highway in Sorrento. I don't know the exact address, but it's on Airline Highway in Sorrento.
Okay. Councilman Oliver Joseph, please.
I was just going to go back to Councilman Cluart. in the past, we normally have gave an extension normally to up to 90 days. I would go 60 days, and if on that 61st date, we normally let Laverne deal with it.
Question.
Councilman Todd Lambert.
Yeah, Mr. Bourgeois, you're saying that it was already, you was aware that they were moving it, and how long have you known that?
It's been over a month that we were.
It's already 30 days that you knew that they were going to move
We
it.
didn't have any other information to where it's going to be moved, who's going to move it, where it's going to be moved to, what repairs were going to be made. So it's just sitting there, and, you know, the dangerousness of the building is the porch is collapsing and other issues that are there that brought it to this point that we need to come see you guys. So if there's people are making an initiative to move it, make the repairs and structurally contain it, that would be a decision you guys can make and allow it in the next 60 days to happen.
Councilman Kent Shakespeare.
I think everybody's in agreement that if they want to move forward, we want to see something like that. But I think, first of all, that they could clean the lot up immediately. And if he's interested in doing that, and if he makes progress on cleaning the lot up and securing the house, then the time frame is, we can work with a time frame that maybe Laverne would recommend to us coming back. It might be a couple of months to get the necessary things to move the house. But, you know, looking at the pictures that we have here, if they're not cleaning the lot, then we still have that health hazard that we have. So I think they could do that without spending a lot of money and secure the house, and then we can give them a time frame for them to move that. But, you know, we need to see some progress on that, because that's not money, that's just putting things together to make things safe for everybody to continue. And I'd like to amend the motion to that they make that progress, and then they could have the 60 days to be able to, and if they continue to make progress and you recommend something else, we can encourage them to continue on.
Okay, I have an amended motion by Councilman Kent Shakespeare.
Never had a second.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. We really never had a formal motion and a time limit and a second, so we're not going to start over.
I'll go ahead and restate my
Restate.
motion. My motion is for an extension, and I didn't set a time limit. I guess that's what my question was to Mr. Bourgeois. What do you feel, sir? You've worked with this.
I would think, Mr. Kluat, 60 days would be a fair time frame. I would like, if you could, possibly for a letter to be sent to the building department with their intent of what they're going to do, where they're going to move it, how long they expect it to take to do this, and the necessary repairs and the cleanup of the lot. If that could be part of the whole package, then hopefully we could get this resolved.
There you go. My motion is to allow an extension of 60 days where the landowner will send a letter with the intentions of the house and the land disposition to the building department.
I second that.
Motion by Councilman Randy Kluwat, second by Councilman Oliver Joseph. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Thanks, Laverne.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Item 9, I have a resolution to allow materials purchased by contractors and subcontractors for Ascension Parish Public Works projects to be tax exempt from state and local sales tax. You need to add anything to that, Ms. Tony? I have a motion, need a motion for the resolution, please?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen, second by Councilman Randy Kluwat. Any discussion? Any objection? Resolution passes. The next item, zoning review, ID 2173.11, track A1-A for Renrod Incorporated, located on the north end of Perkins Oak, approximately 2,500 feet north of LA Highway 427, Perkins Road, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from medium intensity residential RM to mixed use MU. Zoning Commission recommend denial of this amendment. This is for review only, Councilman, review only. Okay, next we'll move into our public hearing ordinance section, item 11. Ms. Tony?
The purpose of this ordinance is to add clarification language that ensures the intent of the ordinance's applicability is not to supersede state or other local regulations, but the regulations are in addition to. Whereas Ascension Parish is a local governmental subdivision as defined by Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution of 1974. And whereas the Parish of Ascension is the governing and responsible body within this jurisdiction. And whereas Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish, adopted May 4th, 1993, identifies the process and manner in which to adopt ordinances regulating the lands of this parish. And whereas the Ascension Parish Drainage Ordinance Regulation was adopted on July 16, 2009, by Ordinance DR 09-01. And whereas this code was incorporated in Appendix 5 of the Parish Unified Land Development Code, adopted December 17, 2009. Whereas additional clarity is necessary to ensure state and other regulations are not intended to be superseded while enforcing the drainage regulations. Be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority that Section 17-503A5 of Ascension Parish Unified Land Development is hereby edited and adopted as follows. 17503A5, the placement of spoil material on public lands when such spoil is excavated for public projects by any federal, state, or local governmental entity. All state and parish erosion and sedimentation requirements shall still apply.
All right, I'll need a motion to open public hearing, please. Got a motion by Councilman Randy Cloy, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak on this agenda item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes.
Motion closed. Oh, you got one speaker.
Hold on, Mr. Billy.
Would you sign in with Ms. Cinnamon, please?
Thank you, Chairman, Bill, and Councilman. I'm really not objecting to this. The only thing is that these orders are published and I know they published somewhere where, I don't know, for public notice for public hearings. But this stuff was not available online on the internet. If it was, I couldn't find it. I tried to find the agenda that was published, supposed to be published online, and I couldn't even find it this morning. Maybe late this afternoon it was there, but I didn't check this afternoon. The only time you can find some of the stuff that's coming up for agenda is when you come to the meeting and pick up an agenda sheet. I'm not opposed to this particular item, but I would like to see this stuff put online for agenda at least 2 weeks prior to the meetings. So we know that it's there so we can go find it. This is the first time I heard of this ordinance. I'm going to object to a few of them in the future, but this one, I'm fine with this one, but some of the other ones coming up. I'd just like to have notice that we can find somewhere on the agenda, somewhere on a computer system, somewhere that we can look at this stuff and get copies of these ordinances before they come up for public hearing so we know what to talk about. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Councilman
Just
Todd.
to let it be known, I think it is published in the Ascension Parish Journal, which is the weekly, you know. It definitely has to be published for 2 weeks. I just want to.
I know it's somewhere, but if
Okay.
it's online, so you can come on the computer and get
Yeah.
copies of all that. Because the ordinance is not published online, just the notice of the ordinance.
Yeah, but all our ordinances are, you know, in the journal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, y'all need a motion to close public hearing, please.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Dennis Cullen, second by Councilman Chris Lower. I'll need a motion to approve the ordinance, please.
Motion, move the order.
Motion, Councilman Benny Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Chris Lower. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Item 14, please, Ms. Tony.
The purpose of this ordinance is to add some additional design criteria for development of influential upstream parcels to address the rising drainage issues created by development over time and that have been experienced in the recent years. Whereas Ascension Parish is a local governmental subdivision as defined by Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution of 1974, and whereas the Parish of Ascension is the governing and responsible body within this jurisdiction, and whereas Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish, adopted May 4, 1993, identifies the process and manner in which to adopt ordinances regulating the lands of this parish, and whereas the Ascension Parish Drainage Ordinance regulation was adopted on July 16, 2009 by Ordinance DR 09-01. Whereas the code was incorporated as Appendix 5 of the Parish Unified Land Development Code adopted December 17, 2009. And whereas additional stormwater design criteria is necessary for upstream parcels in an effort to help address potential future flooding problems downstream. Be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority that Section 17-506B of the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development is hereby edited and adopted as follows. 17506B, stormwater detention systems that limited the post-developed peak flow rate to 10% less than the existing condition peak flow rate shall be required for all residential and commercial developments in the upper 25% of the watershed of major streams as defined by the Department of Public Works or the appropriate drainage district. Stormwater detention systems that limit the post-developed peak flow rate to the existing condition peak flow rate shall be required for all other developments that are required to mitigate impacts to existing water surface profiles except as otherwise allowed in Section 17-506A. In the event that any portion of this ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portion of this ordinance.
Need a motion to open public hearing, please. Got a motion by Councilman Benny Johnson, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Anyone wish to speak on this agenda item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Bell and Councilman. This particular item, and let me quote here, it says 25% of the watershed of major streams as defined by the Department of Public Works. What is that 25% watershed? If you're going to do a 10% net reduction in stormwater runoff post-construction for a small commercial project, that is a huge, huge problem. You're going to eliminate commercial projects for small mom and pop operations. They won't be able to do it. I mean, just obtaining a zero negative runoff after post-construction is very difficult to do. In any large projects, you would basically going to kill in subdivision developments. I think you need to further study this thing and give some people some opportunity to understand and look at this. And again, my complaint is that I know it's published in the journal, but it's not published anywhere you can see it, and the whole ordinance itself is not published. We need to have somebody read this and look at it, and I'd ask to give somebody an opportunity to read this and review it, please. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? I'll need a motion to close public hearing, please. Motion by Councilman Benny Johnson, second by Councilman Randy Cluart. I'll need a motion to move the ordinance, please.
Wait till we get to the questions.
What?
I got a motion in a second. We'll get to discussion. I'll vote.
Oh, you do have a motion already?
No, I don't have a motion to close public hearing. Go ahead. Councilman Schexnayder.
I want to make a motion to delay this for the next meeting in order to take a look at it. And the reason being is in the past couple of years, I know Billy has been involved with working with DPW on subdivision regulation and all of this, and has been instrumental in working to assist us in making our regulations very stringent, which we do have very stringent regulations. In fact, he has proposed doing things more stringent than our people have asked for. So with that background, you know, this is very technical stuff. I have no idea what the actual effects of it is. I would like to meet with some of the people that are actually involved with this to find out and make sure that the intent that we have does not, in effect, put these people out of business, these mom and pop people that wants to do businesses and such as that, if that's the case. I don't think 2 weeks is going to hurt us from that standpoint. I think we need to do some research,
I'll second.
and I'd like to do that.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Kent Shakespeare, second by Councilman Randy Cloyd. Any discussion?
Discussion.
Yes.
Councilman George Valentine.
Mr. Cloyd, Mr. Chexnut, didn't we discuss this in strategic plan?
Yes, we did.
And wasn't this told to us that this had to do with audits that came through that we had to start dealing with storm water?
Stormwater detention.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, we quizzed it pretty clear what gentleman is saying didn't come up in that discussion naturally, but I thought we had discussed this as strategic plan. Most of these drainage ordinances come from EPA audit or whatever it was, DEQ? Okay.
Okay. Any more discussion? Councilman Joseph.
And my question, I guess I'm gonna have to go to legal again, because I know just recently we had a special meeting, and we was in the same position with an ordinance that we was gonna send that document to Washington. But when a substitute motion or wanted to change the motion on it, we could not do it. We'd be out of order. So now we have posted this. We've been through committee. No offense to the gentleman, but the process. I'm always confused about our process here. Like I say, depends on when it's good for some. We have to follow the law. Now, I don't know if we follow the law or not. Attorney, ma'am, can you help me?
So what are you asking me, Olive?
Well, just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we could not amend to delay or make a substitute motion to ordinance that we had posted in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in the same situation. You have read the ordinance, you have had the public hearing, and now we want to make a substitute motion to delay it. Can we do it or cannot we do it?
In this situation, you can. You're comparing apples to oranges. I mean, we're on time delays, and we had public hearings and all kind of other stuff when it came to redistricting. This is simply an internal drainage ordinance that we are allowed to delay if we want. I mean, I don't think we're comparing the same thing here.
Okay. That's what I need to know. Thank you.
Okay, Councilman Joe. Councilman Randy Cloyd, please.
Yes, I think, Ms. Falderman, I think we come through committee, things come through committee and come up to the council for discussion and become law. I think we have that legal right here to delay review on this item. I'm not sure what Councilman Joseph's talking about. I believe I know the meeting he's talking about. But within that meeting that he was talking about, we also had the ability to delay that topic that night.
Right. You all voted and made a decision.
And we made a decision not to that night. Tonight, we have that ability. I'm questioning you. I think that we do have the ability right now to basically take this under advisement and take a look at it.
You all do have that ability.
Thank you, ma'am.
Still in the discussion mode, Councilman? Councilman Benny Johnson.
Ben, do you want to clarify some of the stuff that we're discussing here? I know you brought this to our attention at strategic planning.
I would like to clarify that this is not born out of the EPA audit. This particular ordinance was requested by the Drainage Department. Engineering drafted the language per their request, but I would welcome the opportunity to have further discussions and meetings on this with any interested parties and maybe make it a little better.
Okay.
Validating.
Just for clarification, now that night, Ben, you said all these were, born out of the audit. That was a specific question that was asked, and it was answered that way. Now, if this would have been brought out of a drainage request, we may have probably looked at this a little. I'm not saying we didn't look at it like we should have, but it may have been speculated a little bit more on what ramifications it may have. We had a big discussion about how industry has to take care of their stormwater and what have you. We went into that situation. So, we depend on staff to come to us and tell us exactly what's going on. That's your job.
All right. I apologize if I misspoke on the origins of that particular ordinance provision.
I would just like to clarify something too. Cinnamon brought it to my attention that that night, the meeting that Oliver was talking about, and I don't want to bring it up again, but y'all wanted, the ordinance was trying to be changed. It wasn't trying to be delayed. We had already advertised 3 times for a specific ordinance, and it was trying to be changed that night, and it wasn't just a delay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Any more discussion, Councilman? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted.
No.
Ordinance is delayed. Motion is adopted.
Motion is adopted.
All right. Item 17, please.
The purpose of this ordinance is to remove language in the ordinance that would permit an exception waiver to meeting the stormwater detention design requirements. Whereas Ascension Parish is a local governmental subdivision as defined by Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution of 1974. And whereas the Parish of Ascension is the governing and responsible body within this jurisdiction. And whereas Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish, adopted May 4, 1993, identifies the process and manner in which to adopt ordinances regulating the lands of this parish. And whereas the Ascension Parish Drainage Ordinance regulation was adopted on July 16, 2009 by Ordinance DR 09-01. And whereas this code was incorporated as Appendix 5 of the Parish Unified Land Development Code, adopted December 17, 2009. And whereas providing a process for exceptions or waivers to detention design criteria is not a best management practice for stormwater management, nor is it a process that is currently supported or granted. Be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority that Section 17-508E of the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development is hereby deleted in entirety, including all subparts. These changes are adopted as follows. 17-1508E, all deleted. Severability in the event that any portion of this ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed as separate, distinct, and independent provisions and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portion of the ordinance.
Motion to open public hearing, please. Motion by Councilman Randy Cluett. Second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward. You'll be allowed 3 minutes.
There's 2.
Thank you again, Chairman Bell and Councilman. Again, I had that time to look at this, and I really don't know exactly what it's saying, but what it seems to be saying is that by adopting this, you're not going to allow waivers from stormwater detention design. If you've got an existing mom and pop business that's been, say, out of business for 6 months and it's not occupied now, in order for them to get another occupancy permit to open that existing business, they're going to have to comply with all the updated ordinances. So that mom and pop business may not be able to open again if they got to comply with this, if you can't give them a waiver from the stormwater detention design. And I would like, again, to have more time to look at this again. Be more than happy to meet with Ben tomorrow, whoever, and give us another 2 weeks or whatever to bring this back up. Again, I thank you for your time.
Motion to close the public hearing, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion to close public hearing. Councilman Todd Lambert.
Second.
Second by Councilman Randy Cluett. I'll need a motion to move the ordinance, please.
Mr. Chairman.
Again, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman,
sir.
I think that's why we have public hearings, is to get input, and we're getting information that we didn't have previously. I would like to see us take a couple of weeks and make sure the discussions are being held, that the ramifications of these ordinances are for the intent, and if we could discuss with a few of the people that actually do the work in the parish and see the extent of that, I would, and then come back and give us a report from administration.
That's in the form of a motion, Councilman Shakespeare. I have a motion by Councilman Shakespeare, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion?
Yes.
Councilman Cluett.
Yes. Ben, you got any comments on this one? I believe mainly we looked at, we're basically lining this up with the state regulations and becoming parish regulations, right?
Well, this one is part of the EPA audit. It's a loophole in the ordinance that allows for an unmitigated discharge. The only requirement that we have per our ordinance is a quantity requirement. EPA would like to eventually see the parish have quantity and quality requirements for the discharge from sites. The language in this section is ambiguous at best. It's hard to enforce. It doesn't really define what the exception is, but it allows for some sites that meet these criteria, but they're not really defined, to have an unmitigated discharge. And EPA had some heartburn on that aspect of the ordinance.
I think as if we go forward with this motion, that we actually need an active part in looking at this, because I think this does have some vigilance to it. All right? Thank you. That's all.
Any more discussion? A motion to delay. I've got a first, a second. Any objections? Motion carries. Item 20.
The purpose of this ordinance is to add language identifying the required LDEQ process and acknowledgement of LPDES criteria for applicable developments. Whereas Ascension Parish is a local governmental subdivision as defined by Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution of 1974. Whereas the Parish of Ascension is the governing and responsible body within this jurisdiction. Whereas Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish, adopted May 4, 1993, identifies the process and manner in which to adopt ordinances regulating the lands of this parish. And whereas the Ascension Parish Drainage Ordinance regulation was adopted on July 16, 2009 by Ordinance DR 09-01, and whereas this code was incorporated as Appendix 5 of the Parish Unified Land Development Code adopted December 17, 2009, whereas acknowledgement and tracking of LPDES criteria is necessary to keep the parish in compliance with federal mandated water quality regulations. Be it ordained by the Ascension Parish Governing Authority that Section 17-509 of the Ascension Parish Unified Land Development is hereby modified and adopted as follows. 17-509 Erosion, Sediment Control, and Bank Stability. An erosion sedimentation control plan shall be developed by the engineer and submitted for approval to address potential sediment migration from the project site during construction activities. It will be the responsibility of the contractor to maintain drainage ditches and detention ponds and to provide adequate bank stability and erosion protection until the site is fully stabilized. As per LPDES requirements, a stormwater pollution prevention plan shall be developed for all sites greater than 1 acre. This plan will be submitted to the Engineering Department of Ascension Parish prior to the beginning of construction at the site. All of these sites will be covered under General Permit LAR 100000 or LAR 200000. Please contact LDEQ for specific requirements for each permit. It will be the responsibility of the contractor to fulfill and maintain the requirements of the permit. The LPDES permit for small construction activities requires a completion report be submitted within 60 days after completion of covered activities. A copy of this report shall be submitted to the parish at the same time. The LPDES permit for construction activities larger than 5 acres requires a notice of termination be submitted after the site has been finally stabilized. A copy of this not shall be submitted to the parish at the same time. The following shall be considered as maximum slopes that provide adequate bank stability and erosion protection. This was just changed from B to D, and C was changed to E. In the event that any portion of this ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of the ordinance.
Motion, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Councilman Todd Lambert to open public hearing, second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Anyone wish to speak on this item, come forward, sign in, you'll be allotted 3 minutes.
Thank you again, Chairman Bell and Councilman. I know y'all tired of hearing from me, but can I ask Ben a couple of questions, please? Ben, does this ordinance just mirror the state ordinance that already requires all this?
Yeah, these are state laws, and the parish, as the has been issued an MS4 permit by the state, so we have a responsibility to enforce those actions. We can request an a SWIP from the contractor.
Right.
This just says, hey, give it to us up front, so we don't have to come ask
Okay,
for it each time.
And the question is you're talking for anything over 1 acre, and the state law says you have to have a plan, but you don't have to get a DEQ permit for anything under 5 acres. Are y'all requiring a permit from DEQ, anything under 5 acres?
We're mirrored,
You're just mirroring
it's the state law. So over 5 acres, you
That's
got
all
to
we
get the.
done.
Thank you, gentlemen. I have no objection to this. I think
Okay,
it should have been done a long time ago.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir. Councilman Shakespeare, please.
this is the one that you said, Ben, this is the one that you said that we was required, we were trying to go follow state law on, right?
Well, the 3 of them,
Okay.
except for the one that was requested by drainage. The other 3 are all per EPA audit.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I'll need a motion.
I move to-
We've got a motion to close public hearing. Councilman Dennis Cullen, second by Councilman Todd Lambert. Need a motion to approve the ordinance.
Motion to
Motion by
approve the
Councilman
ordinance.
Randy Clewett.
Second.
Second by Councilman Dennis Cullen. Any discussion? Any objection? Ordinance is adopted. Before we get to Councilman Todd Lambert, on the back row of the room here, I have Boy Scouts from Troop 65 from St. Teresa. Would y'all stand up, please? Thank you all for coming tonight. As always, I'd like to thank John Conley and Clint Falcon for putting us on the air, keeping us going. Cinnamon and Meyer for our agendas. Beth James, Sherry Kitchen for all the work y'all do for us. And more than anything, the workers of Ascension Parish. The reason we're the top parish in the state is because of our workers. We appreciate them. Deputy Wagons Pack, thank you, sir. And I've got some baby boomers here, some birthdays. Councilman Oliver Joseph, July 27th.
Me a child.
Miss Gwen LeBlanc, July 23rd. Martha Collins, July 30th. Miss Joan Shivers, July 20th. And I guess the biggest baby boomer of all, Mr. Red Loop, July 29th. Councilman Todd Lambert, please.
Motion adjourned, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Lambert makes a motion to adjourn, second by Councilman Randy Clewett.